Since the emergence of COVID-19 and even just the broader shift to remote meetings and work, phone and video interviews are now a lot more common in the workplace. While they usually serve as tools for companies to narrow down the number of candidates to invite for in-person interviews, phone and video interviews sometimes even replace in-person interviews altogether. That means you have to treat these interviews as seriously as you would approach a formal in-person interview. For both phone and video interviews, you want to choose a spot that's quiet and has good reception, and somewhere where you won't be disturbed. Double check the time zone in case the time zones are different between you and your interviewer. During the interview, be sure to smile. Even if the interviewer can't see you, smiling has been found to change the tone of your voice to show excitement and energy. For phone interviews specifically, make sure you have a clear, professional voicemail and professionally answer any calls during the recruitment session. Since the interviewer can't see you and get visual cues from your facial expressions, during the interview, it's even more important that you keep the tone of your voice energetic and excited. While it can be tempting to have handwritten down all of your answers on paper next to you, avoid reading your notes word for word, as this can sometimes come across as robotic. And finally, don't be afraid of silence. If you can't hear anything on the other end after you finish speaking, it's probably because they're taking notes. So don't feel the need to always follow up with a strong answer just by rambling to fill the silence. Video interviews are a bit more challenging than phone or in-person interviews because you also have to make sure that the image is coming across on your employer's screen in a professional way with a professional backdrop. You also need adequate lighting and minimal ambient sounds. You may also want to practice recording yourself answering questions in advance, just to see how you look. Avoid having too much bright lights behind you, as this makes you look too dark. Sitting at arm's length from your camera will make sure your face is in line with the level of the camera. Dress just like you would for an in-person interview as well. If you happen to get disconnected during a phone or video interview, don't panic. Just call the interviewer back. People understand that technical difficulties can happen, and seeing you respond calmly to a stressful situation will help the interviewer determine that you're the right candidate for the position.